All right, racers have been given the countdown. We should see them starting momentarily.
And again, a big special thanks to Mr. Dano for having to put up with the elements here tonight. And we're going to do our best to make sure that we give you the rest of this match uninterrupted here on GG Speedruns. But as Brysolf mentioned, if for some reason that doesn't happen, there will be a vodcast on this sometime this weekend. Here we go with game number 2.
And of course, JPop is going to go for the manip. Meanwhile, Tele is going to go old school strats and just take down all the grunts normally, hoping to get maybe a nuke at the end of the room. He might be able to use this one here.
Definitely could indeed, but decides not to, and it is going to be still a Teleo hole shot here, and we'll see if J-Pop got it. I don't think he did, but we'll
He
take a look here.
didn't. Yeah, he was shaking his head. I didn't quite see the very end. He had to shoot at one last guy. Maybe he timed the nuke slightly early, but he's going to have to try to get a natural orb this time.
You're absolutely right about that, and we've got first drop foot, so there you go. For the first time, at least since I've been calling J-Pop's matches, it's a miss on the orb manipulation, his first one in 9 attempts. And Talio getting back-to-back rockets here, I would imagine is going to increase his lead going into Eat My Shrapnel. So good start here for Talio. Obviously, he would love to have an orb to go into that room, but no such luck. Still, a 79 into Eat My Shrapnel, and J-Pop getting absolutely nothing here, and he is now feeling the effects of what it's like to not have an orb here in Collect Power-Ups. He is already double digits back with a 133, 14 seconds back, but meanwhile, Telio has not gotten an orb yet in Eat My Shrapnel, so this could potentially be an opportunity for J-Pop if he sees an orb and Telio doesn't.
Yeah, if you're not going to get an orb in the first room, you at least want to hope to get it here, because as long as you maintain control of killing all the Mr. Shrapnels and the grunts, you can avoid losing time, and it gives you a few opportunities to get some drops and hopefully fish for that orb. So J-Pop is going to be looking for it. Same for oh, well, speaking of, Teleos, now he's got his orb.
Yeah, Talio got an orb just in the nick of time. It's a 205. Still no orb here for J-Pop. We'll see if he can get something here, but, you know, he was 13 seconds back. He's probably going to be, definitely going to be more than 13 seconds back. And actually, no, he's going to be, he gained just a sliver of time. I know Talio was struggling towards the end of the room. I think he let the Mr. Shrapnels get out of control just a bit, but no matter. He's got him Razor Shield now to complement himself. He's going to grab the foot. Interesting move. What do you think about that, Zero?
You know, I personally am mixed. I generally like grabbing the foot. If it's not too far out of the way, you can quick grab it, get the next spawn going, and then for me, it opens up grabbing a few more spawns, just a few more steps farther away. Oh, and J-Pop takes a death.
Yeah, this has not been a great run here for J-Pop. He has gotten no orb, no quality weapons. Rockets now for Telio. He's going to have a 257 into the bonus room, and he's going to have a massive lead. But now J-Pop finally gets the orb to stop the bleeding, but the damage is more than done.
Yeah, J-Pop definitely knows he's behind at this point. You kind of have to figure if you're going past 3 minutes at this level that you're going to be behind. And hopefully he gets out of this room before he gets that Swirl of Shame. We haven't really seen that much this tournament.
No, not at all, especially when you get to the later rounds of the game. And yeah, no swirl here, but he is about 25 seconds back with the 322. Telio with rockets to start the room and more rockets. Not in a great location. He'll have to work for it. Good grab there. He'll need to get back to the middle of the room. And yeah, Telio should be fine. And he really should be fine now with a Razor Shield.
Yeah, Telio's got this room on lock. He should be good for the rest of it unless something drastically crazy happens. Meanwhile, J-Pop is just now getting out of the bonus room, so he does have his orb at least, but he's got a lot of ground to recover.
Yeah, if he's going to want to make this up, it's going to have to happen on the Mutoid Man fight. You know, we've seen Mutoid Mans be very good to one person and very bad to another, and he's going to have to hope that happens here, because Tele01 is in complete control with a 403 into the Mutoid Man fight. J-Pop with the spreader almost loses his orb right there, but a good patience there, makes a good grab, and he's got more spreaders waiting for him. He's wishing those spreaders would come in the next room here, so Teleo with a chance at the ball buster here, and he's got rockets to start, can focus on the gunners, takes them both out. Gonna try to get this ball buster here, and he's got it. Unfortunately, an empty drop, and J-Pop has lost just a little bit more time. It's 4:30, but he's very much in the running because of that empty drop. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and he was able to get a nuke to finish off the room, so that shaved off a little bit of time as well. So he really needs to land his ball buster here, and then he needs to see a spreader to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, it's invulnerability. Ballbuster good for JPop. Teleo gets an empty drop, another empty drop here. Lobbers on the feet for JPop. Here's some lobbers now for Teleo. So Teleo will keep the lead here on JPop by about a form and change here. Close to 2 forms, I'd have to say here. But JPop needs to see a spreader, and he needs to see it soon. Teleo has no weapon. Where is it? It's lobbers. Good consistent damage here. But JPop has the second arm popped off. Teleo looking to get the head popped, which he does. It's still close to a 2-form lead right now for Teleo. JPop needs a spreader, and he's going to need it real quick, or we're going to be tied 1-1 here in this best of 7. Final form now for Teleo. A good fight here, even though he's not got the spreader. The old school strats, there's nothing wrong with that. Teleo, one more drop ought to do it here for the sub 6. No more drops, actually. He's good to go. Tele01 is going to win game number 2 on the back of that. And ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else, we are tied at 1.
Yeah, honestly, you have to wonder if that slight delay in between the games, can sometimes rattle a play, or it gets you out of your groove. So it could have an effect on J-Pop, and we'll see if he can recover for the next match.
Definitely indeed. So J-Pop, that's kind of what happens when you don't get the orb manipulation. If the game doesn't bail you out, this kind of run happens. So, J-Pop didn't have a terrible arena in terms of execution. It's just the one execution mistake he made at the start just ended up being his undoing right away. And Tele01 getting great drops, executing well-deserved game number 2. And what was a best of 7 match? 0. It's now a best of 5.
Yep, keeping it exciting, and let's see if J-Pop can recover for this. It's going to be huge that he gets that manip. He's going to have to calm himself down, take that loss, recover. Still plenty of games left to go. You got to keep your mind focused, not let it rattle you too much. It's easy to kind of let that get out of control and snowball, but you just got to buckle down and take it one game at a time here.
Oh, definitely indeed. And Bryce Wolf mentioning in the chat, if you're going to have a run with really bad RNG like the one J-Pop did, have it in a run where your opponent gets a really good time like 553 on Teleo's side. You don't want that run to happen when your opponent gets like a 620.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's all going to go wrong, have it go all wrong in one match that you can just kind of laugh it off and say, well, I wasn't going to win that one. It's fine. Move on to the next.
Yep, exactly. So we'll see if J-Pop can bounce back here, or if Teleo can do something he really hasn't done against J-Pop, and that's take a lead in a match. Again, these runners have faced off against each other twice before. Earlier in the tournament, in the winter semifinals, it was a 4-1 victory for JPop4Life, and in last year's second chance finals, it was a sweep for JPop4Life. So Teleo looking to keep the momentum on his side. We'll see what happens here in game number 3.
All right, I'm going to get these runners counted down momentarily. All right, racers are off. We will see them starting shortly.
Yeah, I fully expect that J-Pop is going to rebound and get that orb manipulation back here in game number 3. I just had a little bit of mistiming, and it's going to happen to the best of us. J-Pop, one of the pioneers of the orb manipulation. Runners have been trying to perfect it, come up with player 2 strats, come up with faster strats, and you're definitely seeing that here in this tournament. We've seen a lot of the 39 orb manipulations, which can definitely get you off to getting out the door with a 75 or less when you have that orb. So we'll see how this plays out. We got J-Pop. We'll see if he's got it this time. There's the nuke, and he is going to have the whole shot here.
Yep, it's looking pretty good to me. I think he's got it.
Yep, about a half a second is the difference, but yep, as you mentioned, does look like that J-Pop did recover. Gonna get that orb manipulation good. We'll see if Teleo can get some good weapon to start here. There's the orb right there. There's the wrong orb shape for Teleo, and now a razor shield for J-Pop, which I think he's just going to ignore. Invulnerability now for Teleo. He's got a foot, so again, that helps when you don't have an orb. But yeah, J-Pop should have a nice, comfortable lead. But right as I say that, as the shrapnel goes off as well, no less, Teleo gets an orb of his own. That'll keep him in the running here. But it will be a 76 for J-Pop and the lead. Teleo is unfortunately still going to be several seconds back, especially with the last couple of stranglers there. He's about 11 seconds back to start eating my shrapnel. I mean, more importantly, he does have the orb, but that's now time he's going to have to somehow make up.
Yeah, you definitely feel that when that room's not ending quite soon enough, and you get in the orb not as a first or second drop, and like you pointed out, Teleo was able to avoid that shrapnel explosion and was able to grab the orb without dying. So at least he was able to accomplish that.
Meanwhile, J-Pop, no trouble with this room here. He's now down to just the shrapnels. Again, 18 Mr. Shrapnels to take out. No more than 4 can be on the screen at any given point. That's when you start to lose time here. Another sub 2 for J-Pop. It's a 159. I figure that Teleo is probably going to have about a 210, 211 coming out of this room. No good weapon to end it. One more, I think, is left. No, that's it. It is a 210. So it's an 11-second lead right now for J-Pop to start Total Carnage. No drops yet, but a Razor Shield for Teleo could give it an opportunity maybe to cut into that lead.
Yeah, J-Pop wasn't really getting any weapons until just now getting some spreader. That Razor Shield's going to allow Teleo to maintain control of the center really well, keep those firing lanes really good. It really helps you shave down some time.
Certainly, indeed. You always got to watch out for those shrapnels. They can bust through the Razor Shield. We've seen it happen many times in tournament history. So we'll see what happens. Boy, those shrapnels, they're getting real dangerous on Teleo's side as now part of the shield is starting to melt off. J-Pop's still going to have the lead here. We'll try to get him resynced here. He's got a 253 into the bonus room. Teleo is going to cut into that lead. It's a 301, so he did save 3 seconds.
Yep, definitely that Razor Shield certainly helped shave down some of that time there.
So it's going to come down to if we can get a really, really good drop here to start tank trouble. You'd like to see rockets on Teleo's side. Obviously, if you're on Team J-Pop, you'll want to see him build that lead some more with rockets on his side. Let's see what they get. It's a dude, so that's not going to really help J-Pop here, so he's going to have to work for it. Meanwhile, Teleo's first drop is rockets. He will have to work for it, though, as it's in a pretty lousy location, but he does manage it, but Len loses the orb, so an opportunity gone, potentially, for Teleo if he doesn't get more rockets or an orb back. And speaking of orbs lost, J-Pop lost his, but unlike Teleo, did get his orb back.
Yeah, J-Pop just got surrounded by the swarmers while he was trying to take down those gunners. He just wasn't getting any help with the drops, and he got snagged. But like you said, he's got a replacement, so unless Teleo gets one back, well, it may not be. It may not matter so much at this point here.
Yeah, J-Pop's going to have a pretty comfortable lead coming out of this room, even with the mistake he made early on, because Teleo making a similar mistake is getting punished to the fullest here when he tried to get those rockets. 413 is the time for J-Pop, and he will have an opportunity at the ball buster here. Teleo, that is the end of the room, so yeah, the damage more than done, unfortunately, for Teleo. Still in the running, though, but he's 15 seconds back and no ball buster opportunity.
Yeah, Taylor's got his work cut out for him. He's going to need some good drops here to get him caught up. Meanwhile, J-Pop is going to be going for the ball buster. He does nail it.
Yep, he's got another ball buster to his credit here. Teleo will start things off with a lobber. That is fine. But he's going to be looking for a spreader soon to get back into this one. But it's J-Pop who gets a primo spreader location. He's going to take a commanding lead here, Zero.
Yeah, that's the exact spot you want. You want right in front of the door, and Mutoid didn't really move away from him, so he was able to get a good amount of that damage in. He's going to go ahead and switch it up to the lobbers here.
And we got a glitch toid as well, so he is looking in fine shape to take a 2-1 lead here in this match. So this might be another one of those situations there. Even if Teleo did make that mistake in tank trouble, you know, he probably was not going to win this one. There's a lobber now for J-Pop, so final form right now. If that would have been a spreader, that would have been the end of this game, but even so, Teleo is going to look like he's going to drop this one unless something really bizarre happens. And with that lobber, that has definitely not happened here on J-Pop's side. He is missing some shots, but no matter. Going to be about a 547 for J-Pop, so game number 3 to last year's runner-up in JPop4Life, and he takes that all-important 2-1 lead in this match.
Yep, and as you were pointing out earlier, again, Teleo does not have the advantage here going into the next game. He is going to be back one, but as we've always said, you just gotta kind of take one game at a time, and Teleo is certainly capable of bringing it back here. In the meantime, he's finishing off his Mutoid. He's not in final form now. Takes a death. Doesn't really matter so much at this point. He's got an empty drop anyways.
No, not really at all. I mean, Again, the spreader definitely was the nail in the coffin in this one, but what was really the nail in the coffin was Teleo dropping the orb in tank trouble, not getting a replacement. JPop dropped his orb, did get a replacement. I mean, if JPop doesn't get a replacement, who knows what might have happened, but yeah, this is kind of similar to what we saw in game number 2. If you're gonna have a crap run like this, like Teleo just had, have it where your opponent gets a 547, and then it's in the situation like there's almost nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, I mean, by this point, he's almost a full minute behind. So, you know what? You're going to have a 630 plus. You might as well have it now.
Yep. So both those runners kind of had their throwaway games, as it were, and J-Pop now up 2-1. We'll see if Teleo can once again equalize, or if J-Pop can go triple match point and put himself in a powerful position to make a return trip to the Grand Championship.
Getting both of these runners ready here. They're just going to set up their Razor Shield manips. Both players are now ready. I'm going to go ahead and give them the countdown.
Yep, the score is indicated by the number of keys each player has. J-Pop with 2 keys is up on Teleo 2-1 as game number 4 is coming up. I don't want to say this is a must-win for Tele01, but I really think this is a must-win for Tele01. If he goes down 3-1 against J-Pop, I think he's going to be in trouble. I mean, trying to take 3 off the turn against J-Pop, it's tough to do it. I mean, I know Brysolf did it in that winners finals. I mean, he got real lucky winning that photo finish in game number 4, and then after that, he just pulled away. But I don't see it happening twice in a row, but we'll find out. Game number 4 is underway.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be that far behind. It's not good mentally to know that you can't make a single mistake on the next few games. It's nice to know that you at least have some breathing room so that even if you take a loss on the next game, you still got another chance.
Especially when you know your opponent. Oh, a nuke on the feet there for Teleo. That is going to be a time lose there. So this is not the start that Teleo wanted. J-Pop should be good to go with that manipulation.
Yep, and the nuke at the end did look good, but we'll see. There is a thing about grabbing that nuke. There is, even if you've done everything correct, there is a 1-frame instance where grabbing that nuke will look fine, but you come into the next room and the manip has been lost. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen here. You should have the orb.
There it is, a Razor Shield for Teleo. So once again, J-Pop with the early advantage, but look at this. Teleo gets the orb to complement that Razor Shield. Doesn't get the rockets to complete the Holy Trinity, though, so he's going to have to be very careful. But, yep, Teleo does get bailed out with an early orb drop, so that's going to keep things honest. J-Pop, again, had the spreader, which did help expedite the room a little bit. He's going to have a low 76 out the door. Teleo will have a low 79. A 3-second lead for J-Pop. That's definitely manageable if you're on Teleo's side.
Yeah, and Teleo's definitely got to feel good about that, getting that early orb. He knows that he shouldn't be too far behind, if anything, so that's going to certainly help him keep focus right now.
The room's a little bit out of control, though, but I think Teleo should be just fine now. J-Pop, where have we seen this before? He had rockets to start the room, so yeah, he's going to be in complete command. He's grabbing the grenades in case maybe a rocket drops, doesn't get it, but again, no matter. J-Pop should be okay. Teleo should also be okay. Love to get a rocket to close the room. Teleo trying to just avoid this nuke here, and it's a 158 for J-Pop. It's a 201, so it's the same 3-second lead that J-Pop had, so no change in time in this particular instance, but a spreader to start Tele01 here in Total Carnage.
Yep, meanwhile, J-Pop is getting a bunch of nothing drops, key, and vulnerability. He does finally get a spreader on near the feet, so that'll at least help him out.
But then Teleo getting the vitamin R here, but oh, that purple shirt, that was a little bit pesky there. That could have been trouble there for Teleo, but the orb is still intact.
Yeah, the purple shirts, they sometimes can kind of sneak up on you. They take a weird angle, and it kind of throws off your firing lanes. But Teleo's going to get a Razor Shield. That's going to help him finish off the rest of the room.
Yep, he'll get a late Razor Shield. That'll definitely help him keep things going here. So it should be close coming out of this room, but it's still going to be a J-Pop lead. We'll see what the damage ends up being. A 251 for J-Pop, and Teleo, unfortunately, with the explosion, is going to lose a little more time. So the lead has now doubled for J-Pop. It's a 6-second lead into the bonus room, and I think that's a good time for, Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell.
Everybody grab yourselves a cheesy gordita crunch and a Baja Blast.
Certainly indeed. So, with no weapon for either player, the first drop could be critical here. J-Pop gets a foot, nothing to write home about. Remember, this is where he got into trouble here in the last game, but now he's got rockets. Now he'll be in great shape. Telio with an invulnerability is in trouble himself. He's getting a little bit overwhelmed here. He'll have to pass it up, and he's going to get pinned. A Razor Shield for J-Pop is going to put him in great shape. Telio does get both gunners down. He's got to get back to the middle here, but J-Pop should increase that lead, especially with more rockets now. I mean, J-Pop, and Telio losing the orb when he has no weapon. He's in big trouble now, and that Razor Shield's gonna come too late. It is a 353 for J-Pop, so the PB potential is there, Zero.
Yeah, J-Pop was getting all the goods there. Meanwhile, Teleo was having to do a lot of dancing. He was managing to keep himself alive, even going off into the corner, but managed to get snagged going back to the center. So it's unfortunately cost him a lot of
Oh.
time now.
Speaking of costly, an empty drop for two empty drops for J-Pop, and did get the ball buster, but Tayo with a little bit of spreader could cut into this lead. I mean, J-Pop has got really done nothing here so far against Mutoid other than the ball buster, so Tayo might have an opportunity.
Yeah, J-Pop got lasered right as he grabbed a lobber pickup, so he lost a little bit of time there. Teleo's getting some, he got maybe a little bit of that before he ended up running into the Rockets.
Meanwhile, J-Pop will have to go manuals here with the player 2 spreader. Got a couple of shots, got a couple of more shots. Finally does get vibrated. So we'll see how this plays out. Unfortunately, I got a little bit of hiccup here at Telio's side. So we're going to have to watch the time. Where's the weapon? Lobbers now for J-Pop. Where's the weapon for Telio? He's taking the intentional. He wants a spreader. But where is it? It's being mother hen. It's rockets. Oh, this is disaster for Telio. He does pick them up, but J-Pop has now built a massive lead yet again.
Yeah, Muto was just not playing nice there for Teleo. There was nothing he could do. He couldn't even see what the other drop was, and then he was sitting on those rockets for a few extra seconds, so it's looking pretty good for J-Pop as he pops off the head.
Yeah, I mean, and now he's gonna get the spreader here to mail. Yes, he will get the spreader. This one's over, folks. He's about to get to final form, gonna get some transfer damage. Not a heck of a lot, but these rockets may be enough to finish the job here for J-Pop, and it certainly is. There's the spreader for Telio, but way too late. Not gonna get him anyways, and J-Pop again with great drops on Mutoy, man. We've said it a lot of times here in the history of Smash TV, and we're gonna say it again, but RNG favoring the favorites and underwhelming the underdogs. And you know, you really hate to call Telio an underdog, but given his history against J-Pop, you know, he's only beaten him twice now in, well, this is what? 4, 9, 13, 13 attempts. It's not looking good for Telio.
No, definitely not. He's certainly going to be feeling the pressure now. You don't want to be down 3-1 like this, especially against the higher end players at this level. But Teleo is certainly capable of it, so don't count him out just yet. He's going to have to take it one game at a time here to try to claw his way back.
Well, he's going to have to clean up his tank trouble. I mean, he's had a couple of bad tank troubles in a row now, and that's put him behind the 8 ball. I mean, you don't lose matches against Mutoid, man, but you can certainly lose them in the arena. You know, Telio's kind of done that in the last 2 games, unfortunately. It looked like that maybe there was a slight opening that Telio was going to get when J-Pop got a couple of empty drops to start, but then the tides turned, and it was Telio getting a couple of drops being mother henned on, and all that plus a great spreader from J-Pop puts J-Pop now on triple match point to make a return trip to the Grand Championship and set himself up for a rematch against the 3-time champion.
Yeah, J-Pop's definitely going to want to make sure he secures his last one. I know for sure that he wants to make it back up to Brysov, but Taylor's going to have to try to turn things around here in game 5. Like you said, he's going to have to clean up a little bit of that arena play, especially in the tank trouble. He's got to not drop the orb. He's got to keep his orb and hope that maybe J-Pop maybe has a slip up. J-Pop did drop his orb in a previous game, so it is possible.
Oh, certainly. I mean, yeah, J-Pop had that lost orb in game number 3, you know, got lucky, got the replacement, whereas Telio did not get the replacement. But yeah, Telio, he can't be relying on drops in tank trouble. I mean, yes, you'd love to have drops that help you make the room much easier, but you got to know how to make those adjustments in tank trouble when the game doesn't give you the drops. And so far, Tele01 has not proven that he's able to handle that tonight. He needs to change that now, or he's going to be your 3rd place finisher yet again.
Yeah, he's definitely got to make sure he holds control in that tank trouble room and not drop the orb. You want to hope for some good drops, but even if you're not getting them, you gotta take your time, take out the gunners, maintain the center as best you can. Don't drop the orb. Let's see if Tello can do it here.
All right, here we go with game number 5 as we get the runners lined up here. It's triple match point here for JPop, and we'll see if Tele01 can get back into this match. Obviously, you can't win all 3 games at once. You got to do it one at a time, and it starts here in game number 5. Again, he's got to hope that JPop makes a mistake, doesn't get the manipulation, something like that, because JPop, in the one loss he's had, he did not get the orb manipulation, and Telio will have the hole shot here by just a little bit, but it does look like that. I think JPop is going to have that manipulation yet again.
Yep, it looked good. The nuke at the end seemed to end the room just fine, and we should see the enemies coming at the bottom. Yep, it looks good. He should have the orb.
He does have it, and it's a foot for Telio. So again, not the ideal start here. He does get a spreader, which is something, but he needs to see this orb quick, or he needs to see rockets to keep himself afloat, or he could be double digits back yet again. Spreaders, again, are gonna keep him afloat, so, you know, he's at least getting something. Razor Shield will also help, but again, JPop with the orb is gonna have another good time. 76, high 76 into Eat My Shrapnel. And yes, the drops were good enough for Telio to keep him afloat. He's about 6 seconds back. He's going to need to see an orb real soon here, and he's got to make sure that the room does not get out of control. He's got to watch out for the swirl as well. It's coming for him. Nice shot with the grenades. And these grenades will help Telio keep the room under control for the time being. The Razor Shield, no problem for JPop. And there is the orb for Telio. So that's going to keep him alive here in game number 5. But he's got to be careful. These purple shirts, man, that one purple shirt dodged a few shots there. That could have been ugly for Telio.
Yeah, that got a little too close for comfort there, but Tello's able to finish cleaning up the room, so he'll be able to just finish off the last Mr. Shrapnels. Meanwhile, JPop's getting out just at about 2 minutes flat.
159, and Telio did gain a second at the end, a much better close than what JPop has, so he has cut the lead to 5 seconds. We'll see if he can get a good drop to start here. A key is not going to help Telio here. JPop gets a grenade, bad spot, just ignored. A dude for Telio, he's going to grab it. He wants to hope for something better here to try to expedite the room. He's just not getting anything here, Zero.
No, he's not getting anything. What he's getting is a bunch of Mr. Shrapnels that are exploding. He's having to dodge them, and he's doing a good job of it, but no real weapons to write home about. He finally gets a spreader, which is something, but you really want to see some rockets here.
There's a late Razor Shield, so JPop should have no problem finishing up this room here. Nuke, unfortunately, is a little bit too early. A very late Razor Shield here for Telio. I mean, that'll again keep him afloat, but look at this time, a 2:51 for JPop here. Telio is going to be losing some time here, and quite a bit as well. He's going to be double digits back just because he really had to scramble here. He's got a 3:03, so it is now, he lost 7 seconds in that room. He's in trouble. He cannot afford to drop the orb here in tank trouble.
No, he needs to keep that orb. He needs a really good first drop, or hope that JPop makes a mistake, loses the orb, has some bad drops, and just is able to claw back some of the time. JPop gets a foot near the bottom. That's not going to help him out. He's going to have to try to take out the gunners without it.
Yep, that is a bad drop, and JPop getting a little overwhelmed. He's got rockets waiting for him towards the middle. He does grab them. Both gunners are down, and that's exactly what you wanted to see if you're on Team JPop. A foot for Telio, followed up by a dude. Things are getting real dicey now as Telio is once again going to have to fight here, and he dies to a tank. It is looking like the writing very well might be on the wall here in this one, folks.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Telio. He does get a replacement orb, but the damage is going to be done as JPop is getting out at a 3:58. Meanwhile, Telio's still having to finish off the rest of this room. He's got his orb and rockets now and part of a Razor Shield, but he's going to be back quite a few seconds now at this point.
It could have been worse, though. He's going to get back-to-back rockets. Will be enough to finish the room, not quite. But yeah, you're absolutely right. He did lose time, but it could have been a lot worse. He's 21 seconds back as JPop trying to get some manuals here, having to avoid the bullets here, doing a great job avoiding them. Finally does get taken down as he gets the first arm off. So that was some nifty maneuvering there from JPop. Now let's see if Telio can get the ball buster.
Yeah, Telio needs to hit this ball buster here. Unfortunately, he just misses it. This is going to be really bad for Telio.
Yeah, he needs a spreader, and he needs it like right now here because JPop has both arms. He's got it now. He does get the spreader. This will get him back in.
Yep.
But
Oh, but
J-Pop getting a
JPop.
spread. But wait, it could be parked. No, he's going to get out of the way conveniently for J-Pop. So even when you think Telio might have a chance to gain some ground here, J-Pop gets the goods yet again. Its final form is going to be his best time of the match here as well. Just needs to land these lobbers here, but final form, and there it is, a 5 1/4 for JPop4Life. 525. What a closing game from J-Pop. And we are indeed going to have a rematch of last year's Grand Championship. JPop4Life will take on the 3-time champion Brysolf in our 9th annual Super Smash TV tournament finals.
Yep, we're having lots of repeats here. We're going to have a repeat match between J-Pop and Brysolf. We're having a repeat match right now between Tele and J-Pop. Again, J-Pop is going to take this 4-1.
Yep, just like the winter semifinals, the exact same result, a 4-1 victory for Talio. And even if Talio didn't have the mistakes, once again, there's nothing you can do. When your opponent is rocking a 525 like that, you could play your best. It's not going to be good enough. It's just everything went J-Pop's way. The only thing that didn't go his way was game number 2. Game number 2, when he didn't get the orb manipulation, really set him off on a bad foot. Didn't get the orb until about the 3-minute mark of the match, and by then, the damage was too much for him to overcome. Aside from that game, though, it was all J-Pop tonight.
Yep, drops were mostly falling his way. A couple of mistakes, but honestly, he got what he needed. He got those spreader drops, and he had some spicy times ending Mutoid. And what can you do when your opponent's ending with a 5-2X?
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the fastest times we've had. I think it's about somewhere between a top 5 and a top 10 time that we've had in the history of Super Smash TV tournament play right there, that 525. So you know the times that J-Pop is capable of putting up, even in a tournament race like this. I mean, he now has the record with a 511, and who knows? Maybe, just maybe, he gets that 5-0X against Brysolf in the Grand Championship. Now, when is the Grand Championship going to be? Don't quote me on this, but we're looking at potentially Tuesday for the grand finale of this year's tournament. Obviously, we will keep you posted on when exactly it is going to be, but that's right, my friends. We are down to our final match of the 9th annual Super Smash TV tournament, and it's a rematch between a 3-time champion Brysolf and the runner-up JPop4Life. J-Pop has had some good matches against Brysolf. The last 2 have been 4-2 in Brysolf's favor. Will this be J-Pop's time? Or will Brysolf's run of dominance continue and capture his 4th championship in the last 5 years? Time will tell. Zero, any final thoughts before we say goodnight here on GG Speedruns?
All I can say is you definitely want to see this final match coming up. It's going to be a crazy one, and it's going to be tough. J-Pop is going to have to beat Bright not once, but twice, and he has not yet been able to do that in the tournament, but this could be the moment. So definitely stick around. We will let everyone know on the Discord when that match has been scheduled, and it's going to be a good one.
Absolutely. And again, congratulations to Tele01, back-to-back years on the podium. He will once again take the bronze medal in this year's Super Smash TV tournament. And congratulations to JPop4Life, his 2nd consecutive appearance in the grand finals. Please make sure you give both of our runners a follow, Tele01 and JPop4Life. Great performances tonight and great performances throughout the entire tournament. And of course, special thanks to our restreamer, Mr. Dino, for having to go through all the elements, both on Tuesday and tonight. We really appreciate all of his efforts here on GG Speedruns. And of course, special thanks to my commentator partner, The Real Zero. As always, a pleasure doing commentary with you.
Great doing commentary with you two, Cards.
So for everybody here on GG Speedruns, thank you very much for watching. I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23. Have a great rest of your evening, and we will see you again for the conclusion of the 9th annual Super Smash TV tournament right here on GG Speedruns. Good night, everybody.
Good night.